Pokemon market is gone, but who's really to blame for the situation that we're seeing in terms of high prices in English and even the high prices in Japanese and even the high prices in Korean as they slowly creep up? I'm Alex and I run a 5-figure Pokemon card business in the UK. We've been running for 3 months and mainly selling Korean and Japanese. And part of the reason I started was to offer an alternative to the crazy English prices. But already we're seeing that these prices are creeping up as well, even in Japanese, even in Korean. But what is going on? Who's to blame? And the easy answer, the simple answer is it's scalpers. It's people who are going out, they're buying these products, going to the supermarkets, clearing the shelves, and then they're selling it online. Or they're waiting, putting in all the pre-orders, the Pokemon website, using multiple accounts, the infamous bots, they're always out there, and then they're selling it on. But the scalpers aren't fundamentally the problem. The scalpers are taking advantage of limited supply. They're also taking advantage of demand on the consumer side, that people still want to rip packs. There's a lot of hype about Pokemon. It's a hot market, the products are hot, and so people want to buy them. But I'm not going to fault the people who want to open packs. There's a big product, Pokemon. They've done good marketing, the game's insanely popular, the anime, insanely popular, everything to do with it, the biggest IP in the world. Obviously, people want to engage with it. People want to buy the products, rip packs, collect. People have nostalgia for it. There's no problem with the demand side. And it's not as though it's new or surprising for Pokemon. They've had high demand before. They know that they're the biggest IP in the world. They're expanding into different countries. Pokemon are well aware of how high the demand is. But they're not meeting it. Pokemon are just not printing enough to meet the demand. And so, this creates an opportunity where scalpers can take advantage of the limited supply. But if Pokemon wanted to, if Pokemon were willing to drive resources towards it, and the Pokemon company, they can meet the demand. Demand isn't infinite. There is a limit where the demand will be satisfied. People will be satisfied opening packs. Yes, it will bring down the price of packs. Yes, it will bring down the price of chase cards. It will bring down the price of everything. But the real question is, why do Pokemon not want to do it? Why are Pokemon happy to provide this opportunity for scalpers? And it's not as though they're trying to rectify this situation. And what I mean by that is, they recently, in the Scarlet and Violet era, and scalpers isn't a new phenomenon, low supply isn't a new phenomenon, they have introduced the Pokemon Center stamp. They are introducing more exclusives. They are hyping up more and more sets. They are effectively pandering into the hyped set area, releasing an Eevee set, releasing a Pikachu set, then an Eevee set. Then they're releasing 2, trainer sets, throwback to vintage. Then they're releasing a Team Rocket set, throwback to vintage. And then they're releasing this black and white equivalent of 1x1. One of the most popular sets in recent memory, combined with one of the most popular generations in recent memory. Well, I say recent memory, in all of Pokemon memory. But one of the sort of biggest innovations, one of the most loved sets, and probably because there was going to be a remake of Black and White games, or something to do with Unova. So, Pokemon are clearly moving in the direction of hype, collectability, manufactured scarcity. They want that. They like the hype about the game. They like the talking online. They like that everyone is obsessed with Pokemon and they just can't get enough. Leave them wanting more. Don't give them everything. And so I would argue, and in my opinion, Pokemon are to blame entirely for this situation. Scalpers are just profiting from what Pokemon has created. And if anything, our attention should be directed towards Pokemon. Why are they not printing more? What is going on? If they don't have the factories, they can open more factories. If they don't have more production centres, they can open more production centres. They can print more. They are one of the richest companies in the world. But this is something we see that is endemic with Pokemon. They do not put the time into making better games. They do not put the time into making their products more available in terms of the TCG. Why? Well, for the games, who knows? Maybe, we can say that things can move a little slower in terms of Japan, in terms of the development of these older companies, which is ironic to say in terms of the innovation that Nintendo puts out, but in Pokemon it is certainly true. Very slow to move. But in terms of the Pokemon TCG side, they are innovating in terms of collectability, but it is not helping anything. It is making things more in demand. And the problem with this is that it has a trickle-down effect, because you have all these sets that nobody is interested in. There are only certain sets that people are interested in. They want the Surging Sparks, they want the Prismatic Evolutions. And so people go for these sets. They buy these sets because they are the hype thing at the moment. So you have people who are tangential to the hobby, who are not really, they weren't buying Pokemon before, but they hear, oh my god, Prismatic Evolutions, they want to get it because it is the hype thing. It is the in thing at the moment. So you have people jumping on trends. And if you just like Pokemon, you don't really care what set it is, you're always going out and just buying a few packs, ripping them, it was a hobby for you, consistently, you now have to look elsewhere. Because Prismatic Evolutions is too hyped, so maybe now you're looking for, Shrouded Fable. Maybe you're looking at different sets now. You're looking at Stellar Miracle, which they don't have the same appeal in terms of their set list. They're not as hyped sets. But what else are you going to do? And now that set, the demand increases. So now you have to go to a different set, and a different set, and a different set. And eventually all of the sets are dragged up by the top of the market. By Surging Sparks, Prismatic, Journey Together, all of the future sets. And this is what is happening in Pokemon. And as the sets are being dragged up, so the other language is being dragged up. Japan comes first, but they already see the pre-orders. So the Japanese distributors know the price that they can set. They are setting well above the wholesale price to Pokemon shops is well above the MSRP that is being sold in Japan. Obviously, if you were going to the Pokemon Center in Japan, you can't buy it for that bulk. There's a limit in terms of how many you can buy, same in Korean. But the distributors are selling to foreign markets, which, fair enough, you should protect the domestic market, and you want to make sure that anyone who in Japan wants to buy Pokemon can buy it, although it isn't really a problem there. Same in Korea, though Korea seems to be having issues in terms of their supply at the moment, and the main focus is on Terrestrial Festival, Prismatic Evolution's equivalent, and presumably turning their attention to Battle Partners, which is going to come out in 4 weeks. But nevertheless, we see this price increases, artificial inflation perhaps by Japanese distributors. I'm not saying there's sort of some cabal going on there, but there certainly seems to be an artificial increase in sets, although there's some deviation within that. It's not just a fixed price across the board. So we see it as well, partly because English is up. They know that the Anglosphere markets, basically UK, Europe and America, are willing to pay that, mainly America, are willing to pay that. So they can put the price up, and that affects all the markets, because the Japanese market that it exports to America don't care where you are. If America sets a price for all exports, it's going to be the price for all exports. Same with Korean as well. We see that there's an increase in that as well. Even the Korean MSRP has just gone up by 50% for the regular sets for people in Korea. So Korea is moving up, is ratcheting up, perhaps because Pokemon is sort of moving in there. It's sort of fairly young in terms of the Korean market, especially the Pokemon Center being there, and it's trying to build that up. So, put your low prices, get people interested, and then slowly start to put the prices up. Not my preferred tactics. I don't think it's sort of good to do, especially backdating it to older products, putting everything up to then at the moment it's 30,000 won, gone up from 20,000. That hasn't knocked over to the distributors because the distributors were already charging well above MSRP. So it's now just sort of even maybe a bit closer, although it's still above MSRP, what distributor and wholesale prices are. So yeah, that's really, really what we are seeing. But all of it stems down to, in every single country, the price or the supply that is set by Pokemon. If Pokemon printed every single set to death, the sets would be cheaper. Scalpers would not be able to make money. But what can you do as an individual who just wants to buy Pokemon? I think languages offering different price points is a great thing. So you just want to open packs. Holding too hard to English, it's in English, I can make money from this. You can't. You don't make money opening packs. So you may as well, if you're interested, if you just care about the artwork, collecting cards, which really, if you're opening packs, should be the main goal. If you're just after cards, then buy singles. But if you just like the enjoyment of opening packs, seeing what you're going to get, seeing the different artwork, having that variability in terms of cards, packs is a great way to do it. Looking at different languages is a great way to do it as well. Doesn't have to be Korean. I sell Korean. That's why I sell it on my website. Also sell some Japanese, or starting to stock more Japanese. Thai, Indonesian. There are lots of languages or there are lots of languages which Pokemon is published in. So having a look at those, buying it at a different price point is a good idea, just to get you through this, to get through 2025 when it's going to be so hyped in terms of these sets, but also just being patient. There is no need to buy these pre-order prices that people are putting up on eBay for sets which haven't even come out yet in terms of Journey Together. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Even if you're buying Japanese, prices tend to typically go down after pre-order or after the pre-order window is closed. So that is something to look into as well. Pokemon will reprint these earlier sets and they will go down, or they will at least stabilize from the crazy prices are out at the moment. So patience is the name of the game. Buying different sets, not needing to have the foam of the latest sets, but if you do want the latest sets, if you do want that artwork, buying in a different language. So that's why I think, obviously, I'm not condoning scalping, but the real problem and the person who can actually fix the problem, it's Pokemon. It's a Pokemon company. They have the money. They're one of the biggest companies in the world, biggest IP in the world. They could fix this if they wanted to, but they like the hype. It's good for business. So that's what they do. If you want to buy Korean, if you want to buy some Japanese, links in the description, or head over to www.thechase.club. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who's to blame for this, and what can we do? See you in the next one.